All right, listen up, folks. Today we're talking about something super important in your car, something that, if it goes kaput, will leave you stranded and with a mighty big repair bill. I'm talking about your transmission. Now, what in the blazes does it do? Think of it like the gears on a fancy 10-speed bicycle. Your engine, that makes all the power, right? But it can't just send raw power straight to the wheels all the time. Sometimes you need a lot of oomph to get moving. Sometimes you need to cruise nice and easy. That's where the transmission comes in, changing gears to make sure your engine is working smart, not just hard. This hunk of metal and gears is absolutely crucial. It takes that wonderful power your engine is churning out and carefully delivers it to the wheels, allowing you to speed up, slow down, and even go in reverse. Pretty handy, eh? Without a properly functioning transmission, your car is basically a very expensive lawn ornament. It won't matter how powerful your engine is or how new your tires are. If the transmission isn't doing its job, that power ain't going anywhere. You'll be stuck, plain and simple, and probably fuming too. It's a critical link in the chain, and you gotta respect it. Now, why should you care so much about this thing? Because ignoring it can cost you an arm and a leg, and maybe a kidney too. A brand new transmission or even a major rebuild can run you thousands of dollars. Yeah, you heard me, thousands. That's money you could be spending on a nice vacation or heck, another cheap car. Compare that hefty price tag to the cost of some regular maintenance like a fluid change or an inspection. It's a complete no-brainer. Being penny-wise and pound-foolish is a classic mistake, especially when it comes to these complicated machines we call cars. So, it's time to become a car whisperer, or at least a good listener. Your car will often give you little hints, little nudges, when something's starting to go wrong with its transmission. These aren't just random quirks, they're cries for help. Signals that trouble is brewing under the hood. If you learn to recognize these signs, you can catch problems early, before they turn into those wallet-busting catastrophes I was just talking about. Pay attention, folks, because your car is talking to you and you'd be wise to listen up close. First things first, use your ears. If your car starts making noises it didn't used to make, especially when it's shifting gears or even just idling, that's a big old red flag. You might hear a whining sound, kind of like a mosquito, but way more annoying and expensive, or maybe it's a clunking or thudding noise when the gears change, like someone dropped a toolbox inside the transmission. Sometimes it's a constant humming that gets louder as you speed up. None of these sounds are good, folks. They often point to worn-out parts, low fluid, or other internal gremlins causing havoc. Then there's the dreaded gear slippage. This is a scary one, and dangerous too. You're driving along, minding your own business, you press the gas to speed up, and the engine revs like crazy, screaming its head off. But your car ain't going any faster. Or maybe it feels like it just popped out of gear for a second and then slammed back in. That, my friends, is your transmission slipping. It means the gears aren't engaging properly and the power isn't getting to the wheels like it should. This can happen out of nowhere and leave you in a real pickle, especially in heavy traffic or trying to merge onto a busy highway. Another telltale sign is finding a mysterious puddle under your car. Now, it could be water from your AC, that's normal. But if you see a reddish or brownish, sometimes even black, oily spot, especially towards the middle or front of the car, you might have a transmission fluid leak. Transmission fluid is vital. It lubricates all those moving parts, keeps things cool, and helps with the hydraulic pressure needed to shift gears. If it's leaking out, your transmission is slowly bleeding to death. Low fluid levels will cause all sorts of damage, from overheating to complete failure. So keep an eye on your parking spot. And let's not forget your nose. If you start smelling something acrid and burnt, kind of like burnt toast but much more chemical and nasty, that could be your transmission fluid overheating. When transmission fluid gets too hot, it breaks down and loses its ability to protect the transmission's delicate innards. It can also mean there's serious friction happening inside, components grinding away at each other. This smell is a serious warning that things are getting cooked in there, and cooked transmission parts mean big trouble and big money to fix. Don't just roll down the window, figure out what's burning. Now let's talk about that pesky little light on your dashboard, the check engine or sometimes a specific transmission warning light. Modern cars are packed with sensors, and when the car's computer detects something amiss with the transmission's operation, maybe a sensor is reading funny, or pressures are wrong, or shifts are taking too long, it'll flip that light on to get your attention. Don't be one of those people who sticks a piece of black tape over it and hopes it goes away. That light is your car's way of screaming, "Hey dummy, something's wrong here. Pay attention before I leave you stranded." It's a serious signal. Each of these signs, the noises, the slipping, the leaks, the smells, the warning lights, they all matter because they're symptoms of an underlying problem that will almost certainly get worse and more expensive if you ignore it. A little bit of gear wine today could be a completely busted gear set next month. A small, slow leak can eventually drain enough fluid to fry your entire transmission. Think of it like a small cavity in your tooth. Ignore it, and soon you'll need a root canal, or worse, the tooth pulled. Early intervention is your best friend when it comes to car repairs, especially complex ones like transmission work. So what can you do, Mr. or Miss Car Owner? Well, for some older automatic transmissions, you can check the fluid yourself. It's usually a dipstick, kind of like your oil dipstick, but for the transmission. The car typically needs to be warm and running, and in park or neutral. Your owner's manual is your Bible here, folks. Read it. Pull the dipstick, wipe it clean, stick it back in all the way, then pull it out again to check the level and condition. Is it low? Is the fluid dark brown or black? Or does it smell burnt? Those are bad signs. If it's bright red or pinkish and at the right level, that's good. But many newer cars have sealed transmissions, so you can't even check it. If you're experiencing any of the more serious symptoms like major fluid leaks, that awful burning smell, gears slipping like they're on a banana peel, or that check engine light is blazing along with these issues, don't mess around. Unless you're a seasoned mechanic with the right tools and know-how, trying to fix a modern transmission yourself can often lead to more problems. Your best bet is to get your car to a trusted, reputable mechanic as soon as possible. And I mean trusted. Ask around, read reviews, don't just go to the cheapest guy down the street who promises miracles. Get it diagnosed properly before it turns into a real nightmare. Alright, let's talk about keeping that transmission happy so it doesn't decide to retire early and leave your wallet empty. The absolute #1 king of the hill tip is regular fluid maintenance. That transmission fluid is its lifeblood. It cools, it lubricates, it cleans, and it provides hydraulic pressure. But it doesn't last forever. It gets old, it gets dirty, it breaks down from heat and use. Your car's owner's manual will tell you how often you should change the fluid and filter. And for crying out loud, use the correct type of fluid specified for your car. Putting the wrong stuff in there is like pouring sand in the gas tank, a recipe for disaster. Next up, don't be an ostrich and stick your head in the sand when you notice little things. That tiny hesitation when it shifts, that faint whine that you only hear when the radio's off, that little drip on the driveway. These are early warnings. Address them when they're small and manageable. A minor seal replacement is way cheaper than a full rebuild caused by running the transmission low on fluid. Being proactive will save you so much grief and cash in the long run. It's common sense, but common sense ain't always common practice, is it? How you drive also makes a difference, believe it or not. If you're constantly slamming the shifter from reverse to drive while the car is still rolling backward, you're putting a heck of a strain on things. If you're towing a giant boat with a car that's only rated to pull a little garden trailer, you're cooking that transmission. Frequent jackrabbit starts, flooring it from every stoplight that puts stress on it too. Treat your transmission with a bit of mechanical sympathy. It's not indestructible no matter how tough your truck looks. Drive smart, and it'll reward you with a longer life. So there you have it. Taking care of your transmission isn't some dark art or voodoo magic. It's about regular maintenance, paying attention to your car, and driving with a bit of sense. These simple steps can help you avoid those massive repair bills that make grown men weep. A healthy transmission means a reliable car, and a reliable car means peace of mind and more money in your pocket for things you actually enjoy. So keep that fluid fresh, listen for trouble, and drive wisely. Rev up your engines, but keep them shifting smooth.